This is a story about the people who saved the world. A young city literally had the world's most devastating nuclear explosion of all time. They literally thought all of Europe could shut down because of it.
Why did this not happen? Because the Chernobyl liquidators were risking their lives to save everybody. All of these people, they saved us. They saved you.
Yeah, in a way.
Every single person watching this, your lives have been affected by Chernobyl, and a lot of people don't even realize.
They don't know.
Tomorrow we are actually going to be able to see the reactor, talk to a scientist and engineer that knows exactly why the reactor blew off. We'll be able to see all the aftermath, what happened. Here, day 2, beginning of the checkpoints, but we've been here for like 5 minutes and they're giving our guide Misha a pretty difficult time right now. We've got a lot of paperwork apparently.
They keep glancing at the car.
Well, dude, and we like blasted through this yesterday in like 2 seconds.
Don't let him see you with that camera, bro.
There's like 3 guards talking to Misha right now.
Dude, today's Reactor Day though.
And that's scary in itself.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
That
we're
means-
actually gonna go in a building.
Well, and not just a building, bro. This is gonna be like the sarcophagus. That's like the epicenter.
Oh, here he comes, here he comes.
I need to wait a little bit, my friends.
Oh,
you
what
wait?
happened?
Yeah, we're just waiting for some.
Are we-
It's bureaucracy process.
Are we getting deported?
No, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Update, it's been like 30 minutes, but he's finally coming back.
Yep, looks like we're good to go.
Figured everything out?
Yeah.
What was the problem, if you don't mind me asking?
They just asked for a representative of Chernobyl nuclear power station to come to get us in. So look, photo and video shoot. Don't film anything right now. When we get closer, in a minute, we will stop.
What's up, guys? It's Sam and Colby.
We are here with Nate in Chernobyl in Ukraine. Today we are actually inside the power plant.
We might have to wear hazmat suits at one point, but we're about to take a 5-hour tour and figure out exactly what happened to cause the accident of Chernobyl.
Well, and this is pretty much as close as you can get to the disaster.
We're gonna hear from actual scientists what went wrong to cause the worst nuclear explosion in history.
So we're going to Reactor 3 and see the control panel and everything, so we can clearly understand like what went wrong and like what did what. We're gonna take our clothes off.
Oh, dude, I think Colby's excited to get
Yeah, man, I want to be in a hazmat suit, man.
Everything, even your socks, you can leave just your underwear.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Good thing my PP is too small to get ready.
Yeah, get it, let's get it, let's get it. Get it, let's get it, let's get it.
That's mostly.
You're good, man.
Get it, let's get it, let's get it. Get it, let's get it, let's get it.
This lady's over here like yelling at us, and we have no idea what she's saying.
Вот здесь вот она делается меньше, больше, так меньше будет.
What the fuck did she just say?
She called you a little bitch. You guys know what to do. Sam and Colby Instagram. And they are right there.
Going into this place, apparently it's called the Golden Hole.
I have a golden hole. Dude, it looks like we're going to heaven right now.
So he said usually the concrete would absorb everything pretty well, but it has absorbed for so long that this golden stuff is just another type of decontamination. Alright, so we're about to go into the reactor area. We're going to sign off on getting these devices, and they will tell us how much radiation we get from going in there and coming back. We'll know if we're fucked here in like 2 hours.
Don't fall down on the ground. Don't touch anything. Wow.
Power plant, we don't produce electricity anymore, but we're still involved in general energy system of the Ukraine.
What do you think they're working on exactly, like right now? Is that hard to say?
Control everything. Very difficult equipment, lots of equipment. Central control room.
I didn't understand. The plant is still producing energy.
No,
No.
we've got electricity from West Ukrainian nuclear power plants,
okay.
2 of them, operated here and transmitted.
Crazy that all this stuff was placed here in like the 1970s and it's still here today. We're still even using the like old TVs, all of this because it works.
I've never expected, but this is like a smoking zone. Yeah. So it's like we stepped back into the 70s.
Literally, like, this entire place is lost in time.
Waiting to see which red button to press.
Which red button do you think it is? I think it's that one.
Didn't that's the red button that just fucked everything up right there? Oh shit. Dude. Our counters. What's it at? 25. All the counters computers are going crazy.
Let's try to get in. Okay, I will switch on the light.
Look at all these computers.
Yeah, you have to be a freaking nerd to know how to do all this, right?
Freaking nerd. All of these computers probably had the power of like one iPhone. So he said this entire facility only had them enough like storage and power for 700 kilobytes. That is less than a gigabyte. Our YouTube videos are like 15 gigs per video. So every time we make a video, it's more storage than an entire thing times like 10.
Wait, dude, so think about that, man. That means the computers they were using to run these reactors had less power than what we carry around in our pocket. Dude, I kind of want to bring an iPhone back to the 70s and just watch what they do. You think they'd like, whoa, dude, porn. What? What?
Wow.
Whoa.
Dude, look at, what are you saying?
Whoa.
This is the control room for...
All of the unit number 3.
This button right here is the button to shut off the entire reactor.
What'd you do?
Did you just fucking make the same mistake?
It's like harder to turn your washing machine on and off than that.
How would you even like figure out what to press
Little
here?
reactor, and you just go click, click.
What would it be happening if like, you know, you're just walking and then you trip and just slam on all these buttons at once?
That's what you're worried about right now.
I feel like my clumsy ass would trip in here and like smack something eventually.
Oh my
What if that's like the real story of Chernobyl? No one will say.
Nate is the producer over here. What's up?
That little woman in blue hat just told someone not to touch anything.
He just came over and like sternly was like, no, like swatted his hand away and like Nate and I were like,
Yeah, 2 seconds ago. Little did you know, did you just send like a ton of energy over back to America or something? Dude, look. This is the map. All right, flash forward. After we have realized and learned all about Chernobyl over the past couple days, we wanted to give you guys, now that we know the story, a much more detailed breakdown of what happened.
it's extremely complex, and with the whole tour that we did, we just want to summarize it in 1 minute.
So what happened? On April 26th, 1986, in this nuclear reactor, the power plant, reactor number 4, they were conducting safety tests. They were trying to figure out if for some reason the main power source lost power, how could they switch power sources easily?
At the time, the city of Kiev was receiving power from the plant, and so they requested that the test be postponed so that it was after peak power usage. What that did was move the test from the daytime crew to the nighttime crew, one of whom was one of the main scientists and had only been working there for like 3 months.
Anatoly Stepanovich Dyatlov, the deputy main engineer of the power plant. He was responsible for conducting the test. Dyatlov wanted to be main engineer very much. If he will provide the test bad, he won't be main engineer.
You're saying that like he had to make this test go right or else he wasn't gonna get a promotion? So he had a lot on the line.
For himself.
For himself.
He was very difficult person. He could tell to anybody, so motherfucker, get out from here because you're an idiot. You don't understand anything.
So the guy behind made the mistake. He was a fat dude.
The workers, the engineers here, they of course should be educated, but they should be experienced. Leonid Taptunov was very young and he wasn't so experienced, so he lost the level of capacity. It decreased up to 10 megawatts, so reactor almost stopped.
And you said the reactor is less stable the lower that it is?
The only way to increase the level of capacity is to pull out all the control rods, altogether 218. He decided to remove all the control rods from the reactor core to increase level of capacity. Level of capacity started increasing immediately. It wasn't minutes, it was just a second. 200 megawatts, then 3, then 5, then 7, 10,000 megawatts.
It went from 0 to not even 100%, but like 10,000%. It was way, way, way higher than they've ever had the reactor running.
The night shift being new, they didn't have the intuition nor the experience to understand quite what was happening. It was then that they determined, okay, now we have to shove all the rods back in.
Because if you put all the control rods in a perfect scenario, it would in fact lower everything, and again, that would decrease the power back to normal.
Here's what happened. Because the reactor was running so hot, the tubes that the control rods slide into had actually warped due to pressure and heat.
If everything was designed correctly and all the control rods did and were able to go in, everything would have been fine.
Of course.
Wow, so it kind of was the designer's fault.
So no, he made the right decision.
What did they do? They pressed like a button?
They pushed, they pressed to install all the control rods.
It basically created a small spike of reactivity that sent it over the edge. And so it was the needle that broke the radioactive camel's back.
So they were all pulled out, and then the temperature in here got super hot. They were all pushed back in. And when this got so hot and blew off, this, he was saying, exploded up in the air, went like this, boom, 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 and then landed sideways. And this is how it still is today.
Keep in mind, the reactor roof weighs tons, and it flicked it like a coin.
All the smoke up top was just completely like radiated smoke that was flying over the city. So one last question. Nobody has really talked about this yet, but afterward, the core down here was getting so hot that we heard that a lot of people were worried that there was going to be a second explosion.
It could be an explosion because first days, first hours, the main danger for nuclear workers is to leave reactor core without cooling. So for the first few hours, they kept giving water to cooling down the reactor. But of course, was no reactor at all. So all that water collected here in under reactor room. So if that fuel will melt it down the foundation and will get inside that rooms where water collected, it could be enormously huge explosion.
How big, you think?
Well, from here to our capital, to Kyiv, it is 150 kilometers. So even Kyiv wouldn't stand. Oh my God.
So it would just completely wipe out everything for 150 more?
Theoretically, of course.
Which means the radiated like cloud would affect all of Europe pretty much.
Probably
the entire
world.
In the entire world. If they wouldn't have gotten all the water out of the bottom of the basement, basically all of Europe would have been uninhabitable.
Oh wow. It seriously could have affected the swing of the planet.
We would be walking around radioactive land forever. That could increase the death rate to millions if these people didn't go and stop it right then.
Why did this not happen? Because the Chernobyl liquidators were risking their lives to save everybody.
And it's so easy to think of Chernobyl as a gigantic tragedy, right? I think in reality, man, what's even more impressive than the accident is how incredible the engineers, the miners, the liquidators, I mean, even the communities that were willing to relocate and work together.
The nurses who healed the people.
How humanity came together to basically stop this radioactive meteor from hitting the earth is so inspiring to me.
And what's really special in my opinion about this is these heroes, they weren't really mentioned at all.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that these people killed themselves so we all didn't die.
You know, they risked their lives. They saved us. They saved you.
Yeah, in a way.
Every single person watching this, your lives have been affected by Chernobyl, and a lot of people don't even realize.
They don't know. So again, I think it's really beautiful, like you were saying, instead of looking at this as like the biggest disaster in history, I look at it in the lens of like, the planet came together to figure out how to stop this huge problem that could have killed millions.
Yeah, there was a massive accident that caused a lot of sadness. But if you look on the brighter side, it is like a testament to how if you can work together, people can save the world.
It's time, dude.
It's time. We are going to go into the control center of reactor number 4, the one that blew up. And he said, not only do we have to wear special masks and gloves, but he never likes to take anybody past a few minutes because that is the level of radiation you can intake.
So I'm gonna go shirtless and roll around on the floor.
He's gonna die early.
But for now, you should switch off your cameras.
We'll see you guys in there.
Going off.
Turn it off.
That is the normal level. The normal level over there was 0.2. Here it is.
This is it.
Here it is. Holy shit.
This is the control room of the unit number 4.
That button would have turned everything off?
Yes, it used to be here.
That is the spot. That's the button that was pressed that triggered the final explosion, pretty much.
What if you were just kind of like, hey man, how you doing?
That would only happen to
By the
you.
way, actually, why it was replaced there? Because somebody could sit here or something.
Wow, that's actually good. Holy shit. Your like silly joke was like true as to why.
It wasn't a joke, I was being serious.
I cannot believe this. This is the room. This right here.
This is the room where the gun did it fucked up.
One of the most dramatic single pieces of history right there.
That might be. What other button in history has ever caused that much damage?
The G-spot.
Alright, let's see if Colby is okay to live.
We're gonna find out. Okay. Am I good?
Yes! Yes! Guys, apparently that is the most dangerous spot that visitors can go, and we survived. With that, you gotta give a good old like and subscribe. Come on, guys.
Guys, we've seen that a lot of people that watch our content are not subscribed, and to that we say, what the frick?
Dude, what the frick, dude?
That pisses us off.
So go down there, like it up, subscribe, notifications
It's
on. Let's
free.
see if we can get 300,000 likes.
Thank you.
Geiger thing just keeps going on. It just shows you how dangerous this area is. So this is the water that filled the reactor?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I thought it would be just like metal, like gray tanks or something like this. I didn't know they were gonna be this big.
We've been between like 7 and 9 microliters for this entire motion.
What was the normal, the safe rate? 0.3. 27 times the amount that's safe.
And we're going up. Oh, should we jump on 3?
Yeah.
Oh! Dude, ow.
That was the hardest fucking walk of my life.
Oh, shite.
They said was the ceiling. They got flipped like a coin.
Wait, you remember in the control room, all those buttons on the wall? Those buttons were the control rods. These are all the control rods right here, I bet you.
So do you think when he said pull them all, someone had to go over and be like 400 times the nuclear power of Hiroshima was this explosion?
How do they insert these chemicals into these rods?
Scalpel that machine. So operator get in that machine and went in that direction.
So you know like a claw machine like at Walmart?
Yeah, I never won those.
This thing is basically like a giant claw machine. So this moves back and forth and this moves front and back. And someone would sit in there and come over these, pick it up, the waste would get revolved into one tube and it would be refueled with another. And they would just do that for the entire... That's so complex. Oh my god. Super complex.
Do you think the explosion was as powerful as a Kamehameha?
Huh? Oh! Dude, you almost broke your ankle there. What'd you get? 2,000?
No.
I got 2,000 as well.
0.002.
Oh, 0.002. I was like, I think I'm gonna die.
We still got 1/10 of max radiation.
Yeah, that was like a small amount of time with all this protection in here.
All right, we are back in the city of Pripyat, and we are going to find a kindergarten school in this forest. Misha was just saying that there's a ton of kindergarten schools because this is a very young town and they had a lot of babies every year. He was saying, you know, everyone was young here. There was no like internet, you know, nothing to do. This is a fuck town, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what he was saying.
Damn.
Dude, look, we're on a basketball court. Should we hoop it up?
Can you ball?
Should we hoop? Yeah, I have balls.
Can you hoop?
No.
There's a basketball right there.
Is that radioactive?
I'm not sure, but you can't touch it.
I can or no?
You were ready, bro. Whoa. Oh my god.
Dude, you know what's different about this than other abandoned places aside from, you know, the obvious radioactivity? So many things were left behind.
And this was for like what, elementary school kids, he said?
Yeah, this is a school gymnasium.
That's really sad. I wonder if Vlad played here when he was a little kid.
Oh,
Maybe!
Dude, that's such a sweet thought, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was 10 years old, probably running around just balling on those homies.
Dude, I bet Vlad could ball.
We're literally just right next to abandoned skyscrapers.
Everywhere.
Oh my god.
That's 16 stories. I think that's one of the apartment buildings here.
16-story apartment building just right behind you.
That's where they kept the kindergartners when they were being bad.
What is this? Can you
So
explain?
this is a kindergarten, and they had nap time here, so there's beds here, there's gas masks everywhere apparently.
It'd be dangerous if they had like beds in my school. Nap time would be like half the day.
Dude, I went to the nurse's office just so I could take a nap, like every single week in elementary school.
Look at that. A little tiny baby in a baby gas mask.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
That's fucking creepy. Here's all the beds that they used to take naps on.
Dude, there's hella dolls in here. There's one right there, one right there. Bunny head. Oof.
Little toys left behind.
So they thought they were gonna come back to this. I'd be so sad to be like 10 years old here and experience that. Getting everything
dude.
stripped away from you.
Imagine you're a little kid and then you accidentally leave like your favorite toy at school. You never see it again.
You also
cry yourself to sleep every night.
Because families lived in different places, you probably also left your friends and stuff. Like, I'm sure you and your buddy wouldn't be going to the same village to evacuate.
I don't know if you can see the gas masks.
Yeah.
Canisters right there. But they used to have the kids run drills, didn't they?
Yeah, they taught kids how to use gas masks. They taught where to hide, what to do in case of like nuclear attack or whatever.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did that too. Even in the independent times of Ukraine, yeah.
You got little baby stupid shoes right there. Looks like these were all classrooms back there, hallways. I bet every single one of these were classrooms up there as well.
Here's a tiny little kid gas mask.
Oh yeah, you can see like the eye holes, like way smaller.
It's just crazy to me. Like, think about that. Like, little kids had to run around and practice drills with gas masks. It's a different world.
That's really creepy if you think about it.
Like, imagine like a 5-year-old army of like hundreds of little kids. Like,
with like these sort of gas masks too. It looks like the fucking lead singer Slipknot or something like that.
whoa.
Oh shit, she has like a third leg. Oh my god, they are all on their separate
Like,
beds.
someone set up a bunch of beds all the way across. This is like
creepy.
their nap time, but they use dolls. Like,
Look how close they were together. Do you really think any of these kids actually use nap time? Like, if they were this close, every kid would just be jumping on the beds and like fucking fighting each other and shit.
Also, they're kids, dude.
Yeah.
Kids don't need naps.
Yeah,
Holy cow, adults
Oh
need
yeah,
naps.
we need recess, not naps. I wonder how many squatters and people that illegally came to Chernobyl would just hide in this apartment.
guarantee you a lot of them live up there.
No, I bet they could be watching us right now.
Yeah, do you think people are there right now? Like maybe? I mean, we saw 3 just yesterday. Libraries, wow, look at all those books. All completely left here. This area over here was more like the hard labor, the woodworking, arts and crafts, stuff like that. And then over here was the library, where they would just read and have their little nap times.
Interesting.
What's going on?
I guess there were people in here. There was a tour of just like normal ass people like running through this building.
What?
And they're not supposed to be.
So he's gonna go put a stop to it?
I think he's gonna go like put the kibosh on the guide.
Oh shit. I can only begin to imagine what this place would look like without all of this forest around it. Like you probably see buildings all around you. Instead, it's like you have to find them and they're like little treasures lost in time.
This place is its own ghost. It haunts itself. Or maybe it's like it's stuck in time and we're the ones haunting.
Damn, getting into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it! What the fuck, bro? God, radioactive.
Ow! Ow! Look at this.
Oh my god.
Yo, if this was poison ivy, we would be genuinely fucked. Dude, where's Misha?
I don't know.
Damn, oh, did he go this way? Oh my god. Oh, fuck, dude, I don't even know where he went.
Did we see him go this way even or no? Hello? Hero.
Somebody save me from the poison ivy. Woo! We made it.
Rubbed down by the Chernobyl radioactive forest.
So I can't touch a basketball, but we can run through.
I don't know, I kinda like being touched that much. It's been a minute.
We could. Damn. Go like and subscribe to Mr. Marty.
Oh, not
he needs
every
some fucking hugging right now. We are here at the stadium.
Stadium, man.
Misha says this is one of his favorite parts.
Look, you can see like where you enter right there.
Little turnstiles.
Vlad said they used to have 2 professional football teams here.
So that means their professional teams would play at this stadium that we're in right now.
They got these big stadium lights right here.
Oh, yeah, those are like the street lamps.
I'll tell you what though, dude. I love trees.
They love you too, Nate.
The stadium has just kind of become like a garden, like a natural garden.
So this is like the track that's going all the way around.
Look, do you remember yesterday we were near the Ferris wheel? We were walking around. Look, there was a path that was getting through the fence, and then there was a stadium. That's how it looked like.
Should we take a lap real quick?
Oh, Nate's a runner! He's a runner! Oh, God. He's a track star! Run, Colby, run! We just see Misha like speed past us, like, pew!
You guys not ready to run?
No, we're just trying to trick you and run faster, oh, bitch! Yeah!
We are definitely not on the right track.
This is the right track. You just have to believe. Whoa, what is that?
Yeah, what is this? This is totally a control tower. This is still the same stadium.
Yeah, we're on the other side of the thing. Like, we ran 200 meters. We need to run 200 more. I wonder if running in radioactivity affects how you can perform.
We're also at 1.18.
If safe is 0.3, we're running in 4 times the safe level of radiation. Right in here, obviously used to be just a giant stadium set for soccer and everything like that. And now it's an entire forest.
And then you have the stands right there.
Yeah.
Those trees.
Abandoned stadium.
Wow, this is pretty cool.
Dang.
Dude, you can almost feel the ghost crowds of people that used to sit here.
You can't even see the track. That just looks like we're on like a street, but that's a giant.
Yeah, the track right there, all the way around. 50,000 people, most of them our age. They probably went to all of these.
Oh, he gotcha.
They're probably going to a bunch of football games on Friday nights, Saturday nights. Honestly, they probably could have even been watching a game on the Saturday night right before the whole accident happened.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is where like the commentators would be and stuff.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, go KU!
Just made it to the oldest part of Pripyat. Apparently this was a school and it's collapsed in 3 places, but if you look around, you see just buildings and other different relics just hiding in the trees. Look at like the street lights and stuff too above the trees. It's like they're one of them. If you look to your right, that's where one of the spots, there was 3 again on this building, but one of the spots right there was where it collapsed. And that's why they're afraid to keep doing tours and stuff like this.
Yeah, the ceiling collapsed down onto the 2nd floor right there. Wow, it really collapsed.
Do you know when that happened, or is it?
This one happened like 8 years ago.
All of the floors collapsed all the way to the bottom. That whole thing used to be filled in.
Dude, look at this wall over here.
Propaganda for the Soviet Union right here. And you said there's a lot of this all over the town, correct?
You can still see the desks, like, in the layers.
Wow! So much of it just fell and collapsed.
Yeah.
That's really intense. Look how beautiful that side is. And then boom, huge collapse.
I'm kind of surprised that like there's some windows that are still intact.
What Misha was just telling us is like the trees, once they like land there and take root, the roots will work down into the buildings and actually like split the buildings apart. And then when water gets in there, it splits them apart more. And so over time, it just gradually...
So the trees are the things that are tearing this whole place down.
A big part of it, yeah.
Mother Nature's trying to retake its own.
She is, dude.
Look at this creepy thing.
Oh, is that a gynecologist chair?
I think either that or like a pregnancy thing. This is just out in the middle of the woods for some reason.
Nate, didn't you just say you're like a gynecologist yesterday or something?
Nope, I didn't say that.
All right. Somebody just chucked this out the window and it landed perfectly like this?
I don't know, someone set it up here.
I think someone had such an intense pregnancy that it launched them out here. Dude, any of your like fans that are females are like, you guys are such idiots.
That's why they brought those first victims of the Chernobyl disaster at nighttime.
The first victims were brought, right over there. Okay, let's go.
So here it is. Here is that entrance where they brought all those first victims of the disaster. I mean firefighters, employees, so ambulances. Brought them here, they took them in, undressed, took them upstairs to the rooms. Of the hospital there are still those highly contaminated like uniforms, helmets, boots, gloves of the firefighters and so on. Very radioactive.
And why did they put it down there just because they didn't have anywhere else to put it, or?
That was the decision that they made. Safest place back in the days was just to put them to the basement. At the night of the accident, like 130 approximately people, like victims, were brought here.
Wow.
You know, some of the patients who were in the rooms, they were sent home because the state of these guys was like they got so much radiation that like nothing would help.
Do you think that they were even aware of how dire their situation was?
No.
Until they
didn't realize that.
Yeah, they had no. So it would be like they just showed up to the doctor and were told, "You're done."
I don't think that they told them you're done. But
well, I know, but like that was the gist of the information.
Yeah.
Was like, sorry, we can't do anything.
And they like firefighters died pretty quickly within like first 2-3 weeks. And the decision was made like to bury them in Moscow in lead coffins, and coffins were concreted.
They were buried in lead coffins.
Lead coffins. Put like 2-meter layer of concrete on top of the coffin because their bodies were so radioactive that they could poison like other people.
Oh my god!
That's why their relatives were not allowed to take their dead bodies back home.
The nurses and employees that touched the firefighters' like clothes, weren't they heavily affected?
Yeah, they got like a burns, like and everything. Even surgeons who were doing like operations on liquidators in the 90s, some of them had those like lead aprons in front of them. They're supposed to protect
even
them
in the 90s. So like
in the 90s,
dude, that's crazy.
Literally like cooks you from the inside. That's why hair starts to fall off. That's why skin
because they can't take
nails.
root anymore.
Like
So were the family members of the firefighters even allowed to see them as they were dying?
No.
Imagine that. You have to die alone.
I hope this doesn't come off as insensitive in any way, but it's almost like the closest thing the human race has like experienced like a zombie infection. And I'm not saying like where they come back from the dead and like try to kill you, but it's like an invisible infection where even dead people, if you get too close, you'll get it too.
That's actually,
you know
that's
what I mean, like a
pretty interesting,
contagion.
yeah. If I got highly radiated and we didn't know about it for like 2 weeks, and then you and I were like together, then I would radiate you.
A firefighter could walk up to you and be like, yo, what's up? How's it going to my family?
Boom.
But in reality, he just killed his own family. The most radioactive objects in the entire town, besides the actual core, were the firefighters' uniforms right after they went inside. Because again, these people were the first on the scene, got the closest to the blast out of anybody, and like they didn't understand the danger, so they just went in and went for it. And so those clothes are actually stored in the basement of this hospital right here. And our buddy Josh, who's been on a lot of videos, you probably know him, actually went down there to see these there, and they're still there because they're preserved.
And didn't he say he only had like a 5-minute limit down there or something
like
that?
Oh yeah, because again, those things could kill you after a certain amount of time.
Just being in that area, you can't even stand around there without
he had a full-on hazmat suit and like didn't even dare to go into the room.
I bet the nurses were terrified too. It affected everybody, dude. Everybody.
So obviously the firefighters right off the bat were the first on the scene. But then, as we talked about, on the roof, before they were able to put on the sarcophagus, they needed to get all of the hazardous objects off of the roof.
And dirt and stuff, like just like particles, soil, everything.
Well, dude, they had to clear like so many centimeters of soil from the entire place in order to clean it.
And like the top of the roof was obviously the most radioactive. You touch them, you die. When the town tried to remove them by robot and like machinery or cranes or anything, the objects literally destroyed the machinery. The radiation was so powerful that nothing would be able to touch these objects.
There's a difference between 2 times there was liquidators that like helped. So there was the initial firemen who were lied to by the government and just basically sacrificed themselves for humanity. But then the following months there were these liquidators who consciously knew.
Like Vladimir.
Yes, and they knew exactly what they were getting into, and they were willing to deal with the radiation just for literally you and I.
And 95% of them went back. Yeah, it's not a small number, dude. Yeah. Like that's like 95 out of 100 people who are the only ones that can do anything about it said, yeah, I'll go give my life.
These guys are heroes. What's sad is like they didn't even get that much recognition. The people that were there to clean off the roof, they were nicknamed bio robots.
Wait, think about that for a minute though. Like that's one thing I was hoping we'd get to. Bio robot. That's I can't tell if that's like a move to dehumanize them or not, because after their actual robots stopped working, they put people in lead suits of armor essentially and called them bio robots.
Yeah. It was so potent that they were only allowing people to go up for 90 seconds. They're like, we know that you might get a lethal dose, so we're going to dehumanize you by calling you biorobots, and you only have 90 seconds to go up there and do as much as you possibly can to shovel off debris and get out of there.
Out.
Yeah.
But the sad part is, you're only supposed to go up 90 seconds. A majority of people went more than once. A lot of them went up to 5 times, so you know they got more than the lethal dose.
Yeah, I mean, there was literally dozens that died from cancer later on. I just feel it's sad because a lot of people don't know the story of Chernobyl. Yes, it's getting way more famous recently, but like there were all these people who were absolutely the biggest like heroes of the world.
They're heroes and they sacrifice themselves knowingly. Like the miners. So as Stan, like our tour guide was saying, underneath the reactor there's a ton of water, and if the nuclear meltdown surpassed all the concrete and went down into the water, it would contaminate all the water stream underneath, which the Pripyat River was connected to that. I think the Pripyat River was the second largest European reservoir in existence.
Yeah, so it would have infected and contaminated literally miles of crops.
Animals and crops and water are basically rendered useless forever if the miners didn't save it.
What they were doing by going down there and preventing the thorium from melting past that layer was preventing a second, much larger explosion. And so it was literally like a race against time.
But what those miners ended up doing was they had to literally dig a tunnel underneath between the water and where the reactor was, because again, if it melted down, that's what would contaminate it. Imagine how hot it was in those tunnels underground.
No ventilation. You can't give them anything because if they were to breathe in the particles, they could die of radiation.
It's really a story about like heroism and people saying, okay, yeah, we messed up, but look, we got to do this and this and this and this and this. A lot of us are going to die doing it.
Maybe only a handful of people or scientists or designers messed up. Thousands or hundreds of thousands of people came to save.
I just wish they got the recognition that like they deserve.
Is it a church?
Church?
Huh?
Oh wait,
There's stained glass. It might be a really hip church. I don't know.
Church during Soviet times.
Yeah, true.
That's a local cafe.
Is that a specific name of it up there? Like, what does that word say? Pripyat?
That's how you say Pripyat.
River was Pripyat, town was Pripyat, cafe was Pripyat.
Oh, I see.
They're very proud of their name.
Yeah.
And then Chernobyl took it over.
Yeah, and then Chernobyl was the most famous. Yeah, that's kind of ironic, actually.
That a naked lady up there?
Whoa. Vending machine. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Little cup still there.
That's awesome. Looks like you only got 3 options, though. That's kind of lame.
Yeah, that's lame.
How old is this vending machine?
Sorry, guys, if the audio goes down here. It sounds shitty, but we're going to the river. It's about to get windy, boys. Whoa.
River.
That's the picture of this place.
Wow.
The spot on the other side, that's the place where they buried like radioactive soil and some personal belongings.
They weren't like Homer Simpson and just put the radioactive stuff in the river. Have you seen that movie, Simpsons movie?
Pripyat.
Damn, that was really close.
It feels like so peaceful and paradisey. And then you look down at your Geiger counter and you feel oh wait, I'm kind of dying right now.
We're dying in paradise.
This town right here, they didn't tell them for 36 hours. So everyone was dying in paradise.
Dang, this is dope. This is the Pripyat sign.
Pripyat.
So apparently in some random language that says Pripyat.
Some random language.
It's probably Ukrainian. Yeah. Oh my god, what are we at?
3? It bounced up to 3 real fast.
Well, because we're right next to the Red Forest. Started building the town 1970, but only finished it 1979. I mean, it was such a nice, rich town.
Yeah, because they were all rich because they were working at the plant. So isn't it like a weird coincidence that the thing that made them rich was ultimately the demise of the town?
Well, and it's not just the thing that made them rich. I mean, it was the thing that was going to propel humanity into the next level.
Seeing Pripyat today, and like ending our day 2 at the sign, I was like, wow, like this city of 50,000 people and then all the surrounding cities of more than hundreds of thousands of people got affected.
It's like, we live, we die, love your friends, and do your job.
Live it up while you can, make it count, 25 by 25, let's go!